Thank you for returning. Here we are at Rhubarb Yoga looking at our Sun Salutation, Surya Namaskar A, our bow to the sun. So how did you try last week? Were you warm? Did you not feel comfortable? But did you have some fun? And that's the most important thing. So looking at this week, we're going to step it up another level. We're going to still do our Surya Namaskar A, but we're going to change the adaptation. So we're going to be halfway between the simple and the full expression of Sun Salutation A. So today you won't need any props, you'll just need yourself. But one important thing I want you to think of is how you are feeling. I want you to listen to the body. Take notice of it. When you start in your mountain pose, in your upward salute, listen to yourself. How are you feeling today? We all get out of bed, feel a little bit achy perhaps, tired, lethargic, just out of sorts. And the important thing is to take attention to that, but don't let it distract you. So if you're going to go into any form of yoga during your day, listen to the body, even give it a wave and say, hello, I hear you, and move on. But that's not to say ignore anything important or major. If you are struggling to move, take stock, listen and pause. If you are feeling generally unwell, make sure that you are eating, drinking properly. Do you need to speak to somebody? Or if you are aching and hurting, please do not do anything that is going to make that worse. But let's start in our warm sun salute today. So coming to the start of the mat, we're going to start with the right side as we normally do, and then we're going to turn to the left. And on the right side I'm going to show you one adaptation during the sun salutation, and then on the left I'm going to show you another form of it. So as we're doing and working through this, we're going to be building up towards the full expression over the next couple of weeks. So let's have a go. So coming to the front of our mat, in our mountain pose, feet can be hip width apart if that is more your style, or you can have feet together. Listen to how you're feeling. How does your balance feel? If you need those feet apart to feel balanced, please listen to what your body's telling you. So coming to the centre, top of the mat, mountain pose to begin with, keeping our legs strong, our feet are spread and broad across the mat, listening and engaging with the whole of the ground. Legs are strong underneath our hips are in line, our shoulders are in line with our hips, and our palms are facing forward in our mountain pose, our Tadasana, or Samastiti here, if you're familiar with Ashtanga. Keeping the head forward, chin horizontal with the floor, taking a breath, and take time to listen to yourself. And as we breathe in, we're going to come into our upward salute. Hands can be together if that's comfortable for you, but they don't have to be. Hands can be apart, shoulder width. Don't push the neck back to bring the arms together. Be comfortable and be where you need to be. And as we breathe out, we're going to fold forward from the hips, but bending from the knee if we're tight today. It could be that we need a couple of sun salutations to warm ourselves up. It could take us more, or it might just be that's where we are. And if it's where we are, accept it and move forward. So breathing out, we're going to fold forward, so we're going to come to our upward salute, breathe out, fold forward with the hips, hands coming towards the ground. And if our hamstrings are too tight, or if that is not for you and that is not how your body works, hands can be to the shins, to the thighs, to the waist if that feels more comfortable, but the legs need to be strong. So if you want to put a bend in them, so they're engaged and comfortable, then please do that. We now come to our forward fold. And it might be now that you're over the thighs and the knees are bent, the legs can straighten,
to keep to the forward fold. Please do not force this action. We're going to breathe in and we're going to do a half lift. Now a half lift can be hands on shins, hands on thighs, or hands to the ground. If you are open enough, you're familiar, or you've got long arms. Breathing out again, we come back to our forward fold. Breathing out, and as we empty out the belly, it enables the chest and the belly to come closer over the thighs, engaging that forward fold that little bit closer, but keeping a bend in the knee if your hamstrings are not quite ready. Now we're going to step back to a high plank. Now the high plank can be a jump back, but today we're going to step back. Now find our position, hands under shoulders, feet strong, heels like they're pushing against the wall behind you. Keep the fingers spread like stars under the shoulders so that we are engaged, and gently tuck the tailbone just a little, not super, just a little, engaging the core, lifting the pelvic floor and activating the belly that keeps the centre of the body strong while we're in this position. Now from here we're going to lower the knees to come in to a knee down plank, and from this position what we're going to do is lower down to the ground. So bending the elbows and keeping them close by the ribs, lower the body down, untuck the toes. Now from here is where we have our two adaptations. We can do our low cobra, which is going to imagine that we're pulling up between the shoulder blades, raising up. This is going to work our lower back. We need to make these muscles strong. It supports our core, but our core supports our low muscles in our back. It also helps us when we're walking and bending too. So these are important muscles. And the trick to know if you're in a low cobra is to take the hands away. If they can be supported, the body is upright off the ground, without needing the hands, you have hit your low cobra. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, bend the knees, push back, and come into your downward dog. And that is the first side of your warm Surya Namaskar. Take your breath, and when you're in your downward dog, this is the opportunity to see where you are. Your hands are in line with your arms, your shoulders are wide and not pinched behind your back. Your legs, if you need a bend in your downward dog, please do that. If you need to lift your heels off the ground, if they don't quite go there, do what works. Listen to the body and it will tell you where you are. Take your breath. Your downward dog is your opportunity for a reset button. And as downward dog is classed as an inversion, as the head is below the heart, we breathe more with the chest and not the belly. The belly will tend to come in, and that is absolutely right. Try and imagine you are breathing through your back to make your breath deeper. And you may find you're more comfortable in the shape. Now looking forward, we are going to step with the right and then meet it with the left, and it doesn't matter how many steps you take to come here. Come to the front, we're going to breathe in and forward fold again, bending that knee if it's needed, legs straight if you're starting to warm up. Taking a breath in, we're going to come up to our half lift, hands on shins once more if that is more comfortable for you, or hands by the feet if you are starting to get stretchier. One more forward fold as we breathe out, and then we're going to hinge up from the hips. Now this can be arms out, or you can just slide the hands up the thighs, slowly unfurling the spine as it might be early days for your yoga movement today. And then bring the hands to heart in Anjali Mudra. Return to mountain pose. Okay, so hopefully
hopefully not too complicated. That's the right side. I'm going to turn and do the left, and I'm going to show you another adaptation halfway through. Take your time. If you need to press pause, practice the same bit as many times you need to. Please do that. It will all come together in the end. So let's come to the end. Make sure you're comfortable. Feet together, feet apart, however you choose to be. In your mountain pose, feel steady, feel strong, feel grounded. And take time to readjust. If you need to completely wobble around until you feel that you're not wobbling anymore, the body is just creating an equilibrium. Breathing in, we're going to come up to our upward salute. Hands, whatever width you choose. And now as we breathe out, we're going to fold forward in whichever way you choose. So you can fold forward, sliding the hands down the legs, or with the arms coming to the ground. Place the hands where they're going to be today, on the floor or on your shins. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing up, we're going to come up to our half lift. Hands on the shins. By doing that on the shins, you can create more of a 90-degree angle, so you can be familiar with this actual feeling. Once you become more in depth with your practice or more confident, you may find the hands on the floor. You can still create that shape. And it's not about where your hands are, how much they're on the ground, how close they are. It's creating that lift and the opening of the chest here. As long as these legs are strong, you can create that shape when you are ready. Breathing out, we're going to come back down to our forward fold. And breathing in, bearing in mind we're working on the left side, we're going to step back with the left foot this time. Step back with the right. Step back as many steps as you need. Now we're going to come into our high plank. So push back with those heels in that imaginary wall. Hands under the shoulders, fingers spread like stars. Being strong. Tuck that tail a little bit, but don't curve the back. Allow the back to open, but don't sink the belly. And this is why tucking the tail is important. It helps engage that chain reaction along the front and back of the body, keeping it strong. So now we're going to bring the knees back down again, and we're going to do a knees down plank. So bending the elbows and keeping them tight alongside the ribs. Lower the self down and tucking the toes. And from this position where our hands are, we need to just gently shift them a little back, and we're going to go into something called upward dog. Now this is the other adaptation that is part of the further expression of a Surya Namaskar. So an upward dog is where the thighs come off the ground and you're supported by the hands and the feet. So let me show you. Take a breath in, push up with the arms, the hips come off the ground, the legs are strong, and the feet facing down are supporting the legs and knees off the floor. The strength is in the arms. If this is not for you, a cobra is perfectly fine. It is not about what has to be done. It is creating that open for the back to release it down, and a cobra will do just the same as an upward dog, depending on how you feel or what you want to do, or where you are in your practice. And as we breathe out, we're going to push up, and we're going to curl the toes under and come up to our downward dog. So, now rest, readjust, reflect upon where we are and what we've just done, and repeat. If you want to, come back down to those knees, come forward, practice your upward dog. Come down and be comfortable in your small, low cobra. None of them have a competitive edge. Not one is better than the other. They are both beneficial. So coming forward, we look forward between the hands. We're going to step forward with the left foot. The right is to meet it. Feet together or apart. Breathing out, we fold back down. You may feel warmer now we've done this. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to lift to our half salute.
to settle, sink, giving more space for those hamstrings. And now we're going to rise in our own way. So we're going to open up, legs strong, arms up in our final upward salute, hands to heart, in our Anjali Mudra. And we're going to come to pause. So, that is our warm sun salute. And after you have practiced that once or twice, you may be just a little bit warmer than you were before. The muscles will definitely be warmer. Something will be stretched nicely. And you begin to feel movement, flexibility, and even some strength. And the more you practice sun salutation, if nothing else, your strength will develop, your experience of yoga will grow, and your body will benefit. And if you want to just practice Surya Namaskar solely on its own, as it is an entire physical warm-up and development, you can't be wrong. Please have fun today. Please enjoy the sunshine wherever